Hello everyone, my name is Chris Bunce. I'm the Math Lead Faculty Area Chair for the San Diego campus, and I wanted to quickly show you how to get your syllabus ready to publish. Now before we start, my first class date is 1/19/2016, and right now it's the 9th, so I have about 10 days. You have about a 4-day window to do this. So you'll get an email approximately 2 weeks before the first class, but then it doesn't open up until about 24 hours later. But you want to make sure you publish this before a week before the first class. So you have about a 3 or 4 day window to get this done. Okay, so I'm in that window, so I have 10 days before my first class, so I'm good to go. So I'm going to click on that. Oops, I waited too long. Let me log back in. So if you don't get this published before that time, it will automatically publish the default syllabus, and you don't want to do that, especially, well, if you like it, it's fine. If you have different ideas of assignments, if you want to put in some alternative assignments, if you want to put in extra things in there, that's totally fine. But I will caution you, if you're going to change the assignments, you have to make sure it maintains the same amount of academic rigor. So we have a certain amount of hours we want the students to work on the assignments, and a certain amount of hours, obviously, that you're going to work on grading the assignments and posting work and that kind of stuff. If you cut down on that, it doesn't maintain that academic rigor. So make sure if you're going to put in something in place of an assignment that it has the same amount of academic rigor. Okay, so this is the page you're going to see. Now, before you do anything else, here's what you should do. Create your instructor policies. I have a different video for this, and if you want to watch that video, I can always send that to you also. But create your instructor policies first, and that goes right here. I would recommend putting it in here, and then also putting them as an announcement. So put it in more than one spot, just in case. You never know. So let's get started. Another recommendation is, as you're going along, make sure you save this just in case something happens. There's always glitches or browsers freeze or something like that. Or let's see, look, that came up. Sometimes it just takes a little slower for the Java to catch up or something like that. So if that happens, make sure you're saving as you go along so you can always go back into it. Okay, so let's go through how to edit some of these. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit here to the first week. Okay, so you can change point values right here, but let's say you want to give them a little extra time on the due date. It has to be documented in here that you're giving them a little extra time. So let's assume that you want the week 1 checkpoint to be, instead of be due on the 19th, you want it to be due on the, let's say 3 days later, let's say the 22nd. You're giving them a little extra time. Now, you cannot change the due date here, but here's what I do. Click on the little edit symbol here, and I put it in the title. I say due 1/22/16. So, and you can even put a little thing in the description that says something like, this is actually due on 1/22. And I would recommend putting that also in your instructor policies, that or some sort of message to the students that you're going to go off the due dates in the title, not the due dates that are automatically in there. Now, if you're going to do that, that's fine, but I would also recommend saying something like, the system automatically thinks it's late. If you're working on it like the 20th or the 21st, the system's going to say, oh, you have this late assignment. It's not really late. Okay, tell the students it's not really late. You're going by the title here. Okay, so, and you can put whatever description you want. If, let's say, instead of the checkpoint, you can say, if you would rather have a written quiz instead of the online quiz with the same amount of problems and same type of problems, please see me, and you can take that if that's one of your alternative assignments. As long as it's pretty equivalent, you can make an alternative assignment like that, and you can put that as the description here too. But it has to be documented. So that's done. Okay, and there it is. You can see that it's edited right here. Here's the new due date. It's going to have a new description. Also, let's say so what I like to do is I like to add in-class assignments, graded in-class assignments. That's totally fine. You're allowed to increase the academic rigor. You're not allowed to decrease it. So let's add an assignment here. Now, it's not really a document or file submission. I'm just going to choose that though. And you can put in the description that you don't really need that. So in week 1, you can say something like in-class quiz or in-class activity or whatever you want to put. I like to put the due dates here, so you can say it's due let's say 10 p.m. on 1/22/16 by the end of class, basically. And you put your description here. This is an in-class quiz covering topics ... Here's what so I would also put instructions. Here's what you can use on the quiz. So be very clear to the students. You are allowed to use a pencil. You're allowed to use a calculator. You are not allowed to use any resources like the internet or any electronic devices other than your calculator. So just because sometimes these things come up, oh, I thought you said we can use this. But we make it very clear and in the instructions of what you can use and what you cannot use. And then you can assign a point value here. You cannot, once again, you cannot change the due date. But I'm going to make it, let's say 3 points for now. So once you filled in this, once you've done that, press done. Okay, it wants instructions. All right, so let's say you may use a pencil and a calculator only. Okay. Now down here also there's one more thing we need to put in there. It's going to ask you what topics are you really testing on. So if it's a quiz on the whole section, the whole week, check all of these. But if you're just doing an activity on just one of these or 2 of these, just check those. But if it's a quiz, I like to check them all because it's covering everything. Click done. And there is your new assignment right there. Now, I know it says document submission, so you might want to include something in the description on this is not a document submission, this is an in-class quiz. You can put that in your description. Once you're done changing all these and editing these, you're going to click publish. And that's it. And then the students can see all the assignments and everything. So make sure once again, publish it before 7 days before the first class. Last thing, if you're going to create an alternative assignment, let's say this in-class quiz is an alternative to the online quiz. You can put that in your instead of making it a new assignment, what I would do is put it as a description in your original assignment. So same point value, same idea, same rigor, but you can say, come talk to me if you want this as an alternative assignment to the online quiz. Okay, that's about it. Once you're done with all these and editing all these, you click publish. Now one more thing. Some of these you can erase and some of these you cannot. So notice that some of these don't have a little X here, which means you cannot get rid of it. So I would recommend not deleting these and just editing them, because that way it maintains that academic rigor. But some of these, it's possible. If you do delete this, make sure you replace it with an assignment of equal rigor. Okay, good luck.